Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I am going to start JavaScript DOM part 2. So let's get started. First, here you can see I created a simple page of HTML with all options of HTML tags which we generally use in our web page in HTML. So here you can see it contains a heading tag, a title, a body tag. Also change it to here. Remove this and close here. So let's see more things. So here you can see I created a heading tag with different types of heading. First is h1 heading, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. Also I created a one more heading with id h6 id and created a four more h6 with class h6. Also I created a simple paragraph tag, again a paragraph tag with id, a paragraph tag with class, then added a for link with id and classes. So in this tutorial I am showing you all options for selecting HTML tags, changing value, changing text content, adding HTML. So all types of option I will show in this tutorial. Also you can see I created a unordered list with id, with class. Also I created an image, two buttons, then two inputs, then a drop down options, then three radio buttons and three checkbox. So here in this tutorial I am giving all the HTML elements, tags which we generally use in our web page. Now using JavaScript we can manipulate this data in our HTML page. So let's get started. So I created this page because I don't want to waste time in making this HTML page which is simple HTML tags. So let's get started. First create a new JavaScript file. So I am creating a new JavaScript file, js dom part2.js. Then link this page to this HTML page. So come in bottom and giving script and passing this file name. So js dom part2.js. Now save this file also and printing this here console.log page is ready. Now let's run this file. So again go to view, click on terminal, then pass the file name. So giving file name dot slash javascript dom part2.html, then click on enter. So you can see it opened this page in our browser. Let's close this tab. Now open console by right clicking, then click on inspect, then visit to console. So you can see my JavaScript page is loaded. Now let's move to our JavaScript coding part. So first let's see how you can change this text content. So let's see first. So I am changing text content of heading 1. So let's see. First selecting element. So I already show you how you can select the element. So first you need to create var heading 1 equal to document dot query selector, then passing h1. After that changing content. So first selecting element, then changing content, text content. So heading 1 dot text content equal to new heading. Now again come to Chrome and click on refresh, and you can see it's printing new heading, so it's working. Again come back here. Now this text content is used for changing text only. Text content is used for changing text only. Now let's see another example. If you want to add some extra HTML in heading tag, like appending HTML tag, means instead of adding simple string, you need to append some HTML code. Let's see how you can do this. Again selecting the another element, so selecting where heading 2 equal to document dot get element document dot query selector, then pass h2, then changing heading 2 dot, again see if I set text content equal to b, which is bold, new heading with bold tag, but it will work as plain text. So let's see if I run this again, and you can see it rendered as a B tag instead of changing it. So come again here, text content doesn't render HTML tags. Now let's see another example where heading 3 equal to document dot query selector, then passing heading 3 h3, then changing. So if you want to change, so if you want to append text content with some HTML tags, so you need to call dot inner HTML instead of this text content. So let's see, inner HTML is used for adding text with HTML tags. Now let's see, heading 3 dot inner HTML equal to I, which is italic, so new heading with italic using append added by inner HTML, then giving semicolon here, also give it here, then click on Ctrl S, save the file, again back and click on refresh. Now you can see this time it rendered as a HTML instead of plain text. So that is the difference between inner HTML and text content. If you use text content, then it will render HTML tag as a plain text, but if you use inner HTML, it will render as a HTML tag, and it will render as a HTML tag. So if I open this element, and here you can see it rendered as a plain text, but if I open this, and here you can see it rendered as a HTML tag. So that is the difference between text content and inner HTML. So if you want to add some HTML properties or tags, then you need to use inner HTML. Now let's see another example. So again here, now let's see how you can select this element using query selector. So earlier I show you how you can select using document.getElementById, by id, but now let's see how you can access this element using query selector. So copy this. Now again come here, there, selecting element by id using query selector. I know variable name is very long, but no problem, it will show you clearly. So again document dot query selector, then here pass. So let's see what is the tag. So each h6, then add h6, then you need to pass id. So how you can pass the id? Just add hash, then pass the id. So paste the id, which is s6 id. Let's copy this and again paste here. So in this way you can use query selector for selecting element with id. Now let's see if it's working or not. So again selecting image by id, then changing content. So text content equal to new content change by js. Now let's run this file and you can see new content change by js. So in this way you can select element by id using query selector. So you don't need to use document.getElement by id. You can also use this way for selecting element using query selector. Now let's see how you can select element by class using query selector. So we already know when we select element by class, it returns data in multiple form. So instead of using query selector in class, we use query selector all. So let's see, again giving comment query selector for selecting element by class, then again where all head6 equal to document dot query selector all, then pass here h6 dot, then pass the id. So you can copy this id and pass here. So notice this, when you use id you need to pass hash, but when we use class you need to pass dot. So let's see. For now just print the value, console.log all head 6. So let's see. Now come here console, and here you can see it select the all element by class name by using query selector. So in this way you can select all element using query selector. Now let's change the value of all input. So all head 6 for where I equal to 0, I smaller than all head 6 dot length I plus plus, then all head 6 I dot text content new content by js at position I. Now let's refresh this page again, and you can see new position new content by js at position 0 1 2 3. So this is working also. Now let's see this more thing. So in this way you can use text content. So when we use text content and inner HTML, so we can use inner HTML and text content for changing the content of text. And here you can see all content are in text format. You can see all these are in text. So we can use text content for changing text. Now let's see next example, which is used for changing property of HTML attributes. So let's see. first come here, then in PID copy this. So let's access this, where PID equal to document dot get element by ID and passing ID. Then let's try to access this text content. So read text content, reading text content, then console dot log PID dot text content. Now let's run this, come to console, and here you can see in this way you can access the text of HTML elements. Now let's see another point, changing style of element. So changing style CSS of element. So again PID dot style. So style is the attribute of elements of HTML. So I am calling first object, then attributes, which is style dot. So here are lots of things you can see, margin, block, insert, all are CSS property which we use in our CSS. So using JavaScript you can change the style of any HTML elements dynamically instead of adding in CSS. Suppose that we need to change text when user click on the button, so you can use JavaScript for changing text content, for changing style. So let's see how you can change the style of this paragraph tag. So come again. Now let's see how you can change. So I'm changing only color. So p.style.color equal to red. Now let's see. So you can see color has been changed. So in this way you can select element and change its property. So what is the property of HTML elements? Let's see. Console.log. So console.dir PID refresh, and here you can see what it contain property and what we can use or what we can change. So here you can see all this property we can use, access and change the value. Here you can see style, and you can see what are the style types. So all CSS property we can use in this. Like if you want to change background, here you can see background which is empty, but if we set value it will show here. So here you can see if I set color which is showing here. So in this way you can check all the attributes of HTML of style and change the property. Like if you can see, so I am showing this because if you don't know styling properties of CSS in HTML, so you can check this and change property. Let's change this background. So PID dot style dot background equal to green. Again refresh, and here you can see it's changed. Again if I open this and come to style, and let's see, here you can see it set the value. So in this way you can change style of any HTML elements. Also you can access this value. So if you want to access value, like console.log PID dot style dot background, let's see, and here you can see it's print value green. So in this way you can change the property of a style of HTML elements and also access the value of styles of HTML elements using JavaScript. Now let's see how you can add attributes in HTML elements and also set the value in HTML elements. So let's see. Adding attributes and value. So let's see. PID dot. So if you want to add some extra value, like I want to add extra class name in this PID. So add class name equal to new class added by JS. Let's see if I run, and let's see class added or not. So click on this and come here, and you can see class has been added. So in this way you can add attributes and value using JavaScript in HTML elements. So first I select all the HTML p tag, then adding an event listener on click. So on clicking when color is green, I will change it to red, and if color is red, then I will change it to green. So let's do it. For here you need to create for loop. So here you can't use where for I equal to, because it will not work. So here you need to use for each loop in another way. So let's see how you can use for of loop, which is same as for each loop. So let's see, where p of p all. So here each element of p all comes in p. Now let's add a click event listener on each p tag. So p dot on click equal to function, then here, now here if p dot style dot color equal to green, then change it to p style color equal to red, and p dot style dot background equal to green. And in else condition change it to opposite case. So change it to background and change it to color. So let's see it is working or not. So here I am added event listener on each paragraph tab using for loop. So let's see, Control R, then click on this. Okay, so here you can see if I click on this any item, it will not work. It will only take last item, because here p reach to end, so it means p change value to last item. So that's why always it's changed to last item. So how you can change only current element when clicking a button. So let's see. So here comes a keyword this, which I already saw in previous. What is this? So this refers to current, means if I add here this, so this will denote to current p tag, means my loop is running for first element, which is 0 index. So this will access the first element only. If loop is running second element, so this will use for second element. So here you can change it to this. So this, in this way, this will refer to current element. Now let's change this again, this. So come back, refresh. Now let's click on this, and you can see it's working. So that is the use of this, and it's working, you can see. So it's working perfectly. So that's why we need the use of this. So this belongs to current p tag, means which I click, it will access to current element. So if I click on this third element, it will access these two third element. So this is the use of this keyword in JavaScript. Now let's see next example. So here you can see if I click on this, it's open on current page. So let's add an attribute of target blank. So this link will open on new tab. So adding target equal to blank using JavaScript. So let's see, come here and adding. So first access all the anchor tag, a link equal to document dot query selector all a. Now again create a for loop for where a of all link, then a dot target. See, target is attribute, so it's come here equal to blank. So let's see, if I click on this, and you can see it's open on new tab. So here you can see, if I, so you can see in all anchor tag it's added target blank by JavaScript, and you can see if I open code, and you can see by default there is no target blank. So all this added by this JavaScript code. So in this way you can add attributes in HTML tags with some values, change style. So that's the importance of JavaScript. You can manipulate HTML code, add properties, add tags, extract data, add data. So you can do anything using JavaScript. So using JavaScript you can do much more things using HTML. Now let's see next example. So here you can see there is list of item. Now let's see how you can add item in list using JavaScript. So come back here. So there is two way you can use for adding item in unordered list. You can use inner HTML. First extract the text, first extract the content, then add the content. Or you can use second method using creating a node. So let's see first method. First method for appending item in list. So first where list equal to list item equal to document dot get element document dot query selector all ul, then for where li in list, li of list item, then first extract the content. So how you can extract the content, let's see, where old content equal to li dot inner HTML, then create a new node. So where new item equal to li, then new item added by JS, then where final content equal to old content plus new item, then set this to li. So li dot inner HTML equal to final content. So let's see if I run again, and you can see new item added by JS. So this is the first method for adding HTML content in HTML contents. Now let's see second method. So let's see second method method for appending content in HTML. Let's see. So first create a node. So first access this all list item, copy this code, paste here. Now remove this. So in second method you need to create a node. So creating a list node. So for creating node you need to create a variable where new li node equal to document dot create element, then pass the tag name. So in this way you can create a li element in JavaScript. So if I print console dot log new line node, let's run this, and you can see it create a simple li node. So in this way you can create a simple HTML node using JavaScript. Now let's add some content and data. So first new line node dot text content equal to new node created by JS. Then append this node in this list. So li dot append child, then pass new line node. Control S, refresh, and you can see the item has been added. So in this way you can add item using second way by creating a HTML node using JavaScript. And you can use any property here, like if you want to change new line node dot style dot color equal to blue. Let's see, and you can see this will work. So in this way you can add content in HTML using JavaScript by creating a HTML node or HTML element, which is a standard way. And here you can see this is simple HTML content, but this is a standard way for creating element with properties. Now let's see next example. So move here, and here you can see a bulb tag and image and added a button too. So let's do thing, change to on button, change to off button. So button on, button off, and change to id button bulb image. So what I am doing here, on clicking button I will turn on the bulb, on clicking the off I will turn off the bulb. So let's see simple example. So first download two image which is on button. So first download two image which is bulb on, and second which is bulb off. So come to Chrome, download bulb off image, and here you can see it's give me two image which is first is off. So download this image, save image, img off, then click on this on, download this img on. Now let's copy this file and pasting in my folder. So simply drag and you can see it's copy Now let's do thing. By default I am setting img off. Now let's add an event for these two buttons. So come again, first access the button where button on equal to document dot get element by id, then button, let's see the id, on button pass here, then button off and off. Now let's see, but and also access the image. So image bulb equal to document dot get element by id, then passing id, button on dot on click equal to function, then here img bulb dot src equal to bulb image on dot png. Copy this and in button off img off dot png. Now let's run, close this, click on refresh, and you can see it's showing button off. If I click on and you can see button is on, again off, again on. So in this way you can change image using button click. Also you can add event listener here also. So let's see, if you want to add image dot on click equal to function, then if image src equal to image of dot png, then change it to image bulb src equal to image on dot png. In else condition, change it to image of dot png. Now let's see, refresh. If I click on this, now if I click on this, okay, it's not working. Let's say add an event console.log, click. Click is working but not setting the value. So instead of src, change to this, this, this. Let's see, if it's on, then change it to on, or if it's on, change it to off. Let's see again. It's not working. So you can see the problem is it return the full path instead of this simple. So let's do this, copy this, pass here and change it to this. Now it will work if I click. So if I click on this, you can see turn off and on. So both are working now. So my mistake is this, it returned the full path. instead of only simple image path. So it's working now. Now let's see more things. Now let's see how you can set value in inputs. So let's do this. First, access this input, name input, then where name input equal to document dot get element by id, passing id, name input dot. So you can see, if you want to change text content, means text, then you need to add text content. But if you want to change value in inputs, so you need to call value equal to new value set by JS. So let's run the page and you can see new value set by JS. So in this way you can set value in input using dot value. So dot text is used for text content like heading, paragraph, list. But if you are working with inputs, you need to call dot value. Now also you can add some attributes like changing type to name dot type equal to name input dot type equal to password. So instead of text, changing to password input. Refresh and you can change, and you can see it's changed to password. So you can use this way for changing inputs, adding class, changing property of HTML elements. Like here you can see I change the value, I change the type of inputs. Now let's see one more thing. Here add a button and adding hide. So using this button I am changing input into hide and show. You can see in many forms where we are using password input, you can there is option for changing to input type to text and password. Like if you can click on eye icon, it will show the password, and again if you click, it will hide the password. So let's see how you can create this using JavaScript. So here adding id hide. So let's see, copy this and here there equal to document get element by id, passing id, hide show dot on click equal to function, then here if name input dot type equal to password, else. So copy this. So if it is password, change it to text, and if it is text, change it to password. Let's see, refresh, click on this and you can see hide show is working, but text is not changing. Now let's see. So if it is hidden, then change it to hide show dot text content equal to hide, and here change it to so. It's a press and you can see hide so. So in this way you can create a form in HTML using JavaScript with hide show functionality. Now let's see how you can select this drop down using JavaScript. So here if you can see, I set value using JavaScript, but now let's see how you can set value using JavaScript. So come again, first access the input, so id equal to select 1. Now let's access this select. So where select 1 equal to document get element by id, passing id, then select 1 dot selected index equal to 2. Let's see it's working or not, and you can see it works. So in this way you can select item of drop down using JavaScript. Again, if you see, default item selected is option 3, so you have to pass the index. Here you can see index 2 is 3. If I change it to first, and you can see it select the first item. Now let's see how you can select a check a radio button using JavaScript. So also let's see one more thing, how you can select element using attributes and value. Earlier I show you how you can select element using id, tag, class name, but now let's select the element using attributes and value. So here I am selecting elements using attribute types and value radio. So let's see how you can select this item also. Copy this again, come to here, where radio button equal to document dot query selector all, pass, then add a square bracket first, then paste value and change it to single quote, semicolon, then let's print console.log radio button, refresh, and you can see I selected my all input radio buttons. So in this way you can access all HTML element using attributes and value. You can see I access my all HTML element of radio button using attribute type and value radio. Now let's select the default radio button. So radio button, so let's check the button. For this to pass index, so I'm passing index 1 dot checked equal to true. Let's see, and you can see default it's selected. Again refresh, and you can see this item is selected using JavaScript. So in this way you can select item of radio button or check default radio button using JavaScript. Adding check default radio button using JavaScript. Now let's see one more thing, how you can check this checkbox also. So using same way, copy this check box and 0, 1, 2. Let's see, check button, refresh. Now refresh, and you can see all checkbox has been ticked. So in this way you can use JavaScript for DOM for selecting elements and changing property, adding style sheets, adding property, adding attributes, access attribute, changing element, changing content, changing text, changing value, select item, change image source, image attributes. So you can do anything with JavaScript in HTML. Now in next tutorial I will show you all types of events in JavaScript. So I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Please like our video and subscribe our channel.